from an early age, I always had a fascination with just machines and how things worked and building things. And a big contributor to that was Legos. I'm sure that a lot of people here have a common background in Legos, especially being at an engineering school. So I mean, I would build my own things at a very early age, and my mom would just watch me. Is like, wow, like this is just really something different. And she realized that those were like characteristics of an engineer, which at the time she didn't even know what an engineer was, And so we started to sort of, cultivate that. My parents really cultivated that in me. I was actually homeschooled all the way from first grade to 12th grade, so I had a lot of extra time to explore, my skills and develop them. And so going into middle school and high school, I actually started my own small business of actually restoring antiques. And so I have a huge love for anything, old and mechanical electrical, namely like vintage radios, jukeboxes, old tube televisions, antique brass age fans, old cars. I love cars, and I'll get to that in a second. But, my dad and I, we had restored, my grandpa, we restored a couple cars, as I was growing up. So, like, I remember the first time my dad handed me a grinder and asked me to, like, cut a hole in the frame of his car. And I don't remember how old I was, but I just remember just him trusting me to do that. And just remember when I, drill out the hole and the bolt fit through, I was like, wow, that's incredible. I just wanted more of that, And so from there, of course, when I was in middle school and high school, I couldn't really completely afford to do that. So what I ended up doing was starting a small business restoring antiques. And I eventually led me to a job at an antique store, and I eventually worked out to become a manager of that antique store. And, people would bring me stuff from all over the Southeast, and I just fix whatever it was and make money doing that. And I had more money than all my friends throughout high school just because I was fixing old, obsolete technology. It was the best thing. So coming out of that really just gave me a huge appreciation for not only, entrepreneurship and, small businesses, but also engineering and the way that things used to be done, and the way that, people just really were passionate about what they built and what they designed. And I really wanted to carry that passion into Georgia Tech. And so I applied to Georgia Tech and got in. And of course, 4 or 5 years later, here I am now.